I wanted to take a moment to talk about something very important. I figure this is probably the best time to bring this up because we are in a transitional point during the year where people are heading back to business as usual, I guess. After the summer time, usually dealers, some of the big time collectors, they take time off. They like doing that, all right, and it's always good to get away from the hobby for a little bit to kind of freshen up perspectives, to kind of reset goals, to it's all across the hobby. Maybe something that you were doing, back in April and May might be different today as we're heading back into what I consider to be the more busier time of the year for numismatics. However, there is a growing issue that definitely deserves a little bit of attention. All right, probably more attention. And again, it's a great time to talk about it because of just the time of the year, and that's the overemphasis in coin grading and how it could be detrimental to not only the hobby but for new collectors coming in. Now, have you ever done something that just and someone had promised you ought to do this, it's a lot of fun, or it's great, it has a lot of benefits, whether it's a health thing or a career change, and it turns out that it's not all that it's cracked up to be. All right, you get to the point in time during all this where you become frustrated and you wave the white flag and you just want to give up on it. That's kind of what coin grading can be, especially to the uneducated. Now, I just pulled up eBay. Okay, you can see real clearly what I typed in here in the search field: PCGS Lincoln Memorial Cent. I wanted to get an idea of what kind of coins are being sold that are already graded. Now, provided there are a few coins that aren't graded, the first one that says $20,000 plastered across the screen obviously is not a graded coin, and whoever that is taking a picture of their pennies on their leg or some other body part that I don't want to know. But anyways, I just looked down and saw that. I'm like, wow, okay, that's anatomy at its finest, right? So what's out there? Well, there's 3,800 plus listings of this combination of words, PCGS, Lincoln Memorial Cent, in coins and paper money. All right. And, that's quite a bit. First and foremost, Lincoln Cent collecting all across the board, from its most rawest, like grassroots level, all the way to the top where there's actually investors and registry set participants that are paying money like this for some of the finest graded coins, exists within this platform. Okay, you're going to see just this wide swath of different values. Okay, and that's fine. All right, that's okay because it also illustrates to us as collectors the diversity that Lincoln Cent collecting has across the board. All right, and that's why I love. You can either do one at a budget, put together a set, maybe collect specific year in various different grades, or you could go balls to the walls and then just do the registry set thing. And if you have deep pockets, then that's where the justification is. And that's where the problem lies. Okay, and the information that's provided out there, I'm going to throw myself into it, obviously, because I have over 2,000 videos where I talk a lot about registry sets and graded coins and all that. Now, before you guys go on your soapbox derby, allow me to explain first. Yes, I am part of the component in which the information gets out there, but what do you guys know about me? I covet and hold education priority. That's the very first priority when it comes to new collectors coming into the hobby, is you got to know your stuff before you go diving into what is generally the most advanced part of the hobby, and that's coin grading. Coin grading takes a lot of skill. You need to have an eye for detail. You need to know the numerical grades up and down from poor all the way up to perfect 70. What does it take for those respective coins to hit a specific area within the numerical grade system? All right. And people come on board, they watch a few YouTube videos, and they think they have it all figured out. All right. They're blinded by the cash. $10,000 for this penny. It's like barely 20 years old. Yeah, I throw that out there to captivate your attention. But, that's an advanced skill. And again, I'm going to reiterate that education for me is the number one priority for a lot of you to take advantage of before you go dipping your toe into the big leagues. All right? You should not, from 0 to 60, go from not knowing jack shit to going and getting your teeth knocked in because you're sending everything under the moon to PCGS and NGC. All right? You're spending oodles of cash. $30, $30, $30, $30, $20, $20, $20 for these coin submissions, but you haven't done all the necessary homework for that game. What are you trying to achieve? Are you just trying to go for the big payday? So you're throwing all the dog shit on the wall and seeing what sticks? It doesn't make any sense. All right? And that's where this video comes from. So I've picked out like 10, 11, 12 of my favorite coins that I wanted to beat up on, or share as coins that were sent in to the graders that shouldn't have. All right? And this is going to give you, again, some of this insight as to what's going on in the hobby. There's a lot of people that are doing this behind the scenes. They don't have to necessarily share, in a forum chat page or on social media that they are doing this. They're just doing it, all right? Because PCGS's and NGC's grading services are available on the fly. You don't have to ask for permission other than paying the membership fee and then doing the grading submission for him, sending this puppy out, and then getting it back and then doing whatever you want to do with it. All right? So here are 12 of my greatest shits. All right? Starting out with this one, and unfortunately, there's going to be one person, the one seller that's going to get kind of beat up a little bit, and that's Queen Natasha Inc. God bless you. Yeah, I know you're trying to do right, but again, I think you're a little bit misinformed on some of the actual values of the coins that you're selling. Okay, I would say probably 60-70% of the coins I'm going to show you in this video are all Queen Natasha's. Okay, so maybe if she's a listener of this video, she'll kind of dial it back, because I think she really needs to start off fresh. She needs to learn the minting process, learning the grading scale, and then she could go in and tackle some of these. So we have a 1960D PCGS XF45 Lincoln cent. An extremely common dated coin that has virtually no value whatsoever above face value. Maybe 3 cents if we're kind of being, a little bit more literal with the conversation, because, there is a little bit of value in copper, terms. So, yeah, let's say the coin's worth at the most 5 cents. All right. So Queen Natasha had sent this thing out to PCGS. Okay, I can only imagine how much she had paid for the submission on just regular good old pocket change fine with no variety. Okay, 60D is a great date, by the way, for varieties. There's a ton of varieties, RPMs. There's a few double dies in there, the small over large. There's a small date, large date, so there's a lot in here. This one obviously is a large date, but, this is the kind of thing I see quite often. And it's not necessarily just on eBay. I even see it on Facebook too, on some of the coin groups. People are sharing their submissions. Hey, I sent this out. And it's like stuff like this. As a matter of fact, I have my CoinFacts app ready so that way I could share in on some of these prices. Now, I kept it isolated to Lincoln Memorial cents because it's a coin design that we all identify with pretty easily. But just to go into this CoinFax app on my phone, I could find out how much an XF45 1960D Lincoln is, and it's not good. It says, I don't know if you guys can see it, NA, which means it's not applicable. It has no value, but the population's low at 15. You would have to go all the way up to, actually, in Mid-State Brown, there's no values. See, Mid-State 66, NA, which means not applicable, which means it's not worth anything. All right, so that's the first one there, $499. Again, part of this is not only a learning kind of activity, but also recognizing when things are a little bit too inflated for what they are. And I would say every single coin on the list is. All right, the next one that we have here, oh my goodness, Miss Queen Natasha. We got another one here, another doozy, although it is a little bit more promising of a coin. We have this time a 1962 PCGCMS. I don't know exactly what this is, but, again, that's all a part of the educational, the learning aspect, is that you have to type in the grading company's name correctly. That's point number one out of all this, is make sure everything is legible, it's spelled correctly. So anyways, we have a Mid-State 63 Red Brown, Lincoln cent. Again, another incredibly common date. Let's go ahead and check it out here. And this is Red Brown. If you guys want a little bit of a close-up, that's what that looks like there. And in Red Brown 63, it's going to be right in the middle there. NA, not applicable because it's not worth anything. A lot of these more modern coins, sans toning, because I know people pay big premiums for tone coins, even into the 60s and 70s. A lot of these have values in mint state red. So if you're sending out coins that look like this, and by the way, there's a big gash right here in the fields, I wouldn't even consider sending this in, even if my life depended on it. All right. But, this is, again, something that I don't know if it's uneducation or not enough learning, or if they are really trying to pull the wool over someone's eyes and deceive intentionally. I don't think that's the case. I think she's trying to believe that there's a lot more value in these than there actually is, but I think it's the lack of education for Queen Natasha, and then we're seeing that in full display here. We also have a 1976 Lincoln, also from Miss Natasha. And let me take a look at this one. This one, however, is a proof. This is a proof Lincoln cent. So it's a PCGS PR, but yeah, that's not good. Environmental damage, uncirculated, detailed. So it's a details coin, a very common date to add to that. 76S. Even if it's a legit grade, and what's crazy is it's a proof coin, but they put uncirculated details. Like, shouldn't they put proof details? Yeah, NA across the board, no value whatsoever in those lower grades, and especially for coins that. This one looks like it doesn't even have any cameo contrast. And I'll be honest, it looks like it was dipped in like Tarnex or something, because 76 has some frost to it. But a silver cleaner or jewelry cleaner will strip that frost away, especially if it's been dipped for a while. This one looks unnatural. It's a really bad looking coin, $599. This thing's not even worth talking about any longer. Here's a 63 from our girl Queen Natasha, this time a Mid-State 63 Red Brown. There you go. I mean, it's a decent looking coin, probably better suited for an album. Again, another coin that's worth nothing other than right around face value. $600 is what she's trying to recoup on this one. Here's the 59. This time, a different seller. Now, this one right here is a proof. Proof 59. This one is proof 68 red. But the thing you got to know about 1959 is it's very, very scarce to find with cameo on it. Once you get into the 60s, it gets progressively worse. A lot of the coins don't exhibit that strong contrasting frost to the dark fields, the mirrorness of it. And, again, a very, very, very tough date. So this one right here, it's not incredibly wildly insane. Right there, a mid-state or a proof 68 rather, red with no cameo on it, $75. And there are 158 that are graded as such. So $692 is a lot of money for this. There's no double die, no varieties, nothing else fancy about the coin. This coin is just incredibly overpriced for the grade. All right, so that's the 59. We have an 81 here as well. This one, again, from Queen Natasha. Now, this is probably one of the more promising coins I've seen from her listings. 1981S, Type 1. Type 1 mint mark. Proof 68 deep cameo. Beautiful, beautiful cameo contrast on this coin. Let's go ahead and take a look at what an 81S Type 1 would go for in a 68. There's actually a price value on this one. So that's a little bit of redemption, but $750 is a little bit bold of a price. So $8 value on that 68 deep cameo on this Lincoln. 339 graded as a 68 deep cameo. So yeah, a little bit bold on the price there. Here's a 64. This one, actually, this is probably the first time I've seen one of these graded. And it's a 1964 Lincoln cent with the counter stamp of Kennedy right on the fields there. We've seen these quite a bit. They're all over the place. These used to be glued to a informational card that talked about some of the eerie comparisons between Lincoln and Kennedy, and it's all very macabre-like on there. It's something to read. They actually have them available for sale on eBay. They're actually very neat, but I wouldn't pay a ton of money for them because there's so many of them out there. This one actually was graded as, wow, proof genuine? PR genuine proof, right? That's a proof coin that they graded it proof. That's a stumper right there. And it says Unk Detail. PCGS proof genuine graffiti. That's not a proof. That's a business strike. Okay, I guess we've revealed another weird issue. Not from the seller specifically, but the graders. That's two coins that they've screwed up somehow the grading on it. One said PCGS proof genuine, but it had Unk Detail as well. Shouldn't it be proof details? I mean, I wanted to get your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about that? Again, not giving a free pass to PCGS or NGC because we pay them big money to get coins graded, but, come on now. Let's be real. Get it right. But yeah, I mean, this is something right here, neat. Was it worthy of a slab? No. The coins themselves sell for, like $5, raw. I have like probably 10 of them in my closet somewhere because I come across them. And I have found a lot more than that and have given them away over time. $800 is what Miss Natasha is looking for on that one. Here's a 78 from our girl. $899. This time a proof 65 red. Holy smokes, that is a low graded 78S. Usually I see them in like 66 and higher. So in a 65 red, there you go, $5 value. so that way you guys can see it. $5. As a matter of fact, if you guys don't have this app, yeah, go ahead and download it on either Android or iPhone. It's fantastic. It's free. It didn't used to be free. Anyways, yeah, $900, way too high on this one. Here's another one as well from a different seller. Jumpin' Joy 22 has a rare 1982D small date penny. I'm willing to bet they were going for the good old. That's not a small date. That's a large date. I can tell right away. Large date Denver. They're trying to go for the small date Denver copper, which isn't supposed to exist, but a few transitionals were produced in error, and the coins are worth quite a bit of money. This is not one of them. This is just a pocket change find that has a value of a penny. PCGS AU58, and guys, yeah, I'm saying this in jest, like this only has a value of a penny, but it doesn't matter if you paid the money to get this in a holder. It doesn't make it valuable enough to justify the price of the coin and the submission. It's like if this person right here wasn't asking $1,000, it would be unreasonable to ask, say, $30 for it to try and get back your money for the submission fees. If you love the grading, it didn't go your way, then it's worth whatever it's worth. People will pay $2 for the thing. But this coin here has no value. Although it would be a nice story if it was a transitional. I would have talked about that. Another one for Jumpin' Joy 22. 1983D Lincoln Cent. Yeah, this one looked probably nice enough that they've decided, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and send this in because it looks badass. But it's a Mid-State 63 red. And with this one, 83D. Keep in mind, this is a Zinkin cent. I'm almost there, I promise. So, Mid-State 63, strangely, oddly enough, it has a PCGS value of $5. I mean, okay. But yeah, I mean, it has carbon spotting on it, and it definitely looks a little bit circulated. I wouldn't have sent it out. $1,600 is a tad bit on the high side. But the last one that we're going to talk about is this one, which is... I'm shaking my head right now because I can't even believe this. 1992D closed AM Lincoln Cent Mid-State 65 red is the only and highest degree in red. The problem is it's not. It's not a close AM, sorry, because it's not on the slab. And furthermore, I looked at the close-ups of the coin, and it's a wide AM. It's a regular 92D wide AM. No variety here. It's got the regular initials that are closer to the monument, which indicates the wide AM version of this coin. Besides, that's a very valuable coin that if it were me, you absolutely, and again, this is more educational, this is something without a shadow of a doubt that you need to send back to PCGS and get the variety attribution on there. Because I guarantee you, a Mid-State 65 close AM 92D is going to be worth exactly what she's asking for it. Why do I say she? Because, she's got lady fingers and it's painted. But, I mean, nice try, but this is something that again shows up quite frequently out there. And yeah, that's our run of coins I wanted to talk about. It's like, yeah, I mean, this is all going to hurt. If any of these folks actually watch my videos, take this as a learning lesson, all right? I'm not taking money out of your pocket because you guys are obviously being very deceptive here with these listings. And, these are things naturally that have to be called out in some form or fashion to help protect the consumers, okay? This is something I like to do. And unfortunately, there is a target on someone. But it's also an opportunity to bring it back and relearn things, because that's what you're going to have to do. There's opportunity to make money in new coins, but it is some of the most difficult opportunities on the face of this planet in numismatics, trying to grade new coins so that way you could realize the money that some of these folks are asking. You're better off going back and cherry picking some of the older stuff, or cherry picking varieties or errors or things like that, because those have a natural market all on their own. And it's again, it's something that a lot of people are going to have to accept, that the education is part of it. If you don't put that first along with the hobby, you're not going to succeed, and then you're going to have to atone for things like this. And when you do sell them, it's going to be constant heartache. Can you imagine jumping for joy selling this coin for $2,300 to someone who thinks it's a close AM? Again, the blind leading the blind. Yeah, that's why I call that the uneducated leading the uneducated. Someone buys it for $2,300. Come to find out that they did some research. They actually put a magnifier up to the reverse of that coin and said, nope, it's not what was described. I'm going to send it back. And what if Jumping for Joy had already spent all that money? Oh, man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Don't get yourselves in any compromising position where you have to refund a large amount of money because of a mistake that you cannot possibly blame a content creator, or you can't blame some folks on Facebook, or you can't blame people that are selling these things on Great Collections or Heritage. You can't blame them, because again, this is the most advanced part of the hobby. And if you don't get all of the easy stuff down at the beginning, which takes time, then you're going to come out getting crushed under the immense pressure of some of the things that can happen. The returns, the buybacks, things like that can be especially crippling when you're ultra dependent on this kind of cash. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day. I'm going to be cranking out a lot of videos this week because I'm going to be gone for like 4 days this weekend. So, love you guys. Thank you for all the views and support. Would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think? What do you guys think about what's going on with grading? Is there way too much emphasis on it? I know a lot of you are going to say yes, and I'm okay with it. It is what it is. Even I think so. There's way too much importance on grading and not enough on the actual grassroots learning part of it. It's really distorted the view of what a lot of people's perception of the hobby is, and it's not all about grading. So you guys take care. Have a wonderful day. Have a great week. And I guess I'll see you on the next video, right? All right. See ya.